Good afternoon, everyone. Today's webinar is Advance Your Career with the CMCA. My name is Laura Lozano, and I am the Credentialing Associate here at CAMICB.
And my name is Karina May, and I am one of the webinar administrators here at CAMICB. Today, we will be presenting some information about the CMCA. If you have any questions, please use the feature on the control panel to send your questions throughout the presentation, and we'll get to them at the end. All right, let's go ahead and get started. Let's talk about the CMCA and what is it and who is CAMICB?
CAMICB stands for Community Association Managers International Certification Board and is the credentialing body that develops, administers, and maintains the CMCA certification. The CMCA stands for Certified Manager of Community Association, and it's an internationally recognized certification specifically for community association managers.
And what is credentialing?
According to ICE, or the Institute for Credentialing Excellence, credentialing is defined as an overarching term that includes processes, policies, and practices that support credentials, such as a license, registration, certification, qualification, or assessment-based certificate to demonstrate that an organization or individual has met predetermined and standardized criteria. Now, the ICE is an authority that is specific to this industry as one of the leading developers of standards for both certification and certificate programs. They serve the credentialing industry by providing information on trends in certification, test development and delivery, and assessment-based certificate programs, and other information relevant to the credentialing community. So with this definition, credentialing is essentially the process by which an organization like CMICB can publicly validate an individual's qualification, or in this situation, their proficiency in community association management. So this can encompass a number of different programs, but they all follow a similar standardized procedure with specific requirements.
And what is certification?
So the CMCA is specifically a certification defined by ICE as a process by which an entity grants formal recognition to individuals that meet predetermined standardized criteria. The certification process involves determination of eligibility and assessment of demonstrations of competence and requirements for regular recertification. So certification is usually voluntary and established by a non-governmental entity. So you want to know that the CMCA is a certification and not a certificate program. And the CMCA is different from a license or other required programs in that it is entirely up to the individual to obtain it, which makes it more distinguished because it demonstrates that you have gone out of your way to devote time and energy to enhance yourself as a professional.
And why is certification important?
So another quote from ICE on why certifications are important. A high-quality certification validates an individual's knowledge, skills, and abilities in a defined profession, occupation, skill, or role. Certified individuals in the workforce reduce risk and enhance consumer protection and public safety. In addition, these certifications allow employers and other stakeholders to identify individuals with the competencies needed to perform a role or task. So essentially, a certification serves as a verification that a professional has achieved the industry baseline level of competency, and it allows a professional to assure the public that they have proof against a standardized, verifiable method that they have the skills and capability to perform their required duties.
And now, could you tell us what are the benefits of certification?
Sure. So a certification benefits multiple parties. Namely, it will benefit you as the manager, your employers, as well as the industry stakeholder. So in terms of employers, when a manager becomes CMCA certified, the CMCA ensures that the manager is a qualified employee, reduces risk of errors, accidents, and liability. Recertification assures continued employee commitment, competence, and it also lowers the risk of employee turnover. From the stakeholder perspective, the CMCA offers objective third-party confirmation of professional competence, assurance of commitment to public safety, consumer protection, accountability through a code of ethics, as well as, again, recertification for continuing competence. And in this particular situation, the industry stakeholder will be the homeowner and homeowner volunteer or board leaders. And the consumer protection in this profession refers to your stakeholders' highest investment, their homes. So lastly, the CMCA will of course benefit you because it will provide your career advancement and recognition.
And how does it impact the manager's career?
Absolutely. So building off from the last slide, certification will impact you and your career because it will provide increased recognition from your peers, employers, and clients. It will provide greater opportunities for job eligibility and promotions. It will provide increased workplace trust from employers and the public eye, as well as provide higher career compensation and permanence. So there are a lot of positive benefits that come out of obtaining certification in this profession.
And why is the CMCA the internationally recognized certification in this industry?
The CMCA is the internationally recognized certification for several reasons. First off, the CMCA program is duly accredited by both the National Commission for Certifying Agencies, the NCCA, as well as by the NC National Accreditation Board under standard ISO IEC 17024. So the National Commission for Certifying Agencies accreditation, it's incredibly valuable, not only because it offers third-party validation for this program, but also because it provides that this program was able to comply with a rigorous set of development, delivery, and administrative standards. And recently, CAMICB was also able to obtain international accreditation with the ANSI National Accreditation Board under standard ISO IEC 17024. So this makes the CMCA certification program one of only a handful of certification programs worldwide to achieve both accreditations. The dual accreditation truly proves that the CMCA is a high quality certification. All right, now, Karina, can you tell us another couple of reasons why the CMCA is a internationally recognized certification in this industry?
Sure. The CMCA exam is psychometrically sound and is proven to be both valid and reliable. So to delve into this for just a minute, psychometrics is the field of study concerned with the theory and technique of psychological measurement, which includes the measurement of knowledge, abilities, and attitudes. So CAMICB uses a psychometric approach in developing the exam. We use a committee of subject matter experts to develop questions, which are then tested by psychometric scientists using operational and independent replication, using classical and item response theory. And that's a lot of jargon, but in short, these questions are created by industry subject matter experts and then tested scientifically to ensure that the questions are both fair and reliable. And then lastly, the CMCA is the only certification in this field that can allow a manager from any country to test against a verified common body of knowledge through extensive job analysis studies.
And how does the CMCA specifically impact a manager's career?
So as we mentioned earlier, the CMCA is widely accepted as the benchmark of the community association industry. As a result, employers and homeowners are really seeking out the CMCA to verify that their manager is qualified. A lot of job applications and postings are looking specifically for managers who have the CMCA certification. Another reason is that CMCAs on average earn about 20% more than non-certified managers. This was found through a salary survey study that was conducted by the Foundation for Community Association Research, and this was in their most recent salary survey. And then lastly, earning the CMCA will set you on a path of enhanced education and qualifications if you're interested in then pursuing CAI's AMS or PCAM programs.
Now, how can someone obtain the CMCA?
So the CMCA requires managers to meet a qualifying prerequisite, and then pass a standardized exam to demonstrate their knowledge and skills in community association management. The exam is developed by a job analysis task force of subject matter experts and administered by a strict third-party testing organization, Pearson VUE, to assure the safety and integrity of the exam.
Okay, and with that said, what are the steps to get into CMCA?
There are 3 steps that you need to complete in order to take the CMCA exam and obtain the CMCA certification. The first step is to meet a prerequisite. Currently, there are 3 prerequisite options, and the first option is a prerequisite course. And there are a couple different options for this course, and the most popular is CAI's M100 course called The Essentials of Community Association Management. The second prerequisite option is if you have 2 years of experience specifically as a community association manager. You can use your experience as a one-time waiver of this prerequisite option. Now, this experience has to be as a fully employed community association manager. We do not accept experience as an assistant manager. Now, if you do use your 2 years experience to meet the prerequisite and you do not pass the exam, you can only use this prerequisite option once. So if you were to retake the CMCA exam, you would have to choose a different prerequisite to retake the CMCA. And then lastly, the third prerequisite option is if you have a qualifying board-approved state license or certification, then you can use that to meet your prerequisite. And currently we accept the certification from Arizona and California and the license from Florida, Illinois, and Nevada. So once you've met a prerequisite option, your next step is to submit the CMCA examination application. And you can do that online on our website at camicb.org. And the cost of the application is going to be $360. And this payment is all-encompassing, so it will cover the cost of the application processing and the exam itself. And then lastly, once you've submitted that application, you'll receive within about 3 to 5 business days an authorization to test email, which will give you instructions on how to schedule and take your exam at a Pearson VUE testing center. You'll have 1 year to schedule your exam, and you can schedule your exam at any Pearson VUE testing center throughout the United States or worldwide.
And once the CMCA is obtained, what is the value in maintaining it?
So CAMICB requires managers who have obtained the CMCA to maintain it by completing 16 hours of continuing education every 2 years and then submitting an annual service fee each year. The board has a number of reasons for why we require managers to do this, but there is a lot of value in maintaining the CMCA specifically for the manager. First off, it distinguishes yourself to your peers, employers, and clients as dedicated to the development of your skills and knowledge. So it demonstrates that you're not staying complacent in your knowledge, you're actively learning and ensuring that you stay up to date on the most recent topics and information. It reaffirms your commitment to the standards of professional conduct, which promotes trust and reliability from your employers and clients. And it also enhances your marketability because it allows you to be able to provide the most up-to-date guidance for your associations.
All right, and lastly, if you can go over some of these resources, that will be great.
Sure. So now that we've gone over the program as a whole, the benefits, the definition, and the process on how to get it, if you have further questions about the CMCA, we do have a number of resources. First off, if you have further questions about how to prepare for the CMCA exam, we have an exam preparation webpage dedicated to all of our study tools. We also have a short webinar called How to Plan and Prepare for the CMCA. If you just recently got your CMCA and you're interested in how to promote your CMCA once you've obtained it, we also have a Promote Your CMCA webpage dedicated to that topic as well. And we also have a short webinar called What is the CMCA Digital Badge and How do you use it? Once the manager has obtained the CMCA, they have a number of resources that are available to them. One of them being the digital badge that we offer to all of our new CMCAs. And this program reviews exactly what a digital badge is and how you can use that for your own professional growth. And then lastly, we did touch a little bit on maintaining the CMCA. So if you have any questions about the recertification process, we do also have a webpage dedicated to that. And again, we also have another short webinar that goes over the recertification process. And all of these links are available in the PDF that is located in the toolbar in the webinar program today. But if you want a copy of the presentation later on, or if you need to email us directly, please feel free to reach out to us via email at info@camicb.org.
All right, and now let's move on to some questions. Karina, did you see any from our audience?
Sure, let me go ahead and look here in the questions toolbar. I see a question from Jessica. Is there any physical text or study book other than the CAMICB study guide?
So unfortunately, we do not have anything physical as the study resources for the CMCA. Everything it's online, so you can download it and study from there.
All right, thank you. All right, I see a question from Desiree. How long after I complete the course do I have to register to sit for the exam?
Okay, so there is not a limit time after you have passed the M100 in order for you to register for the CMCA. So it can be a couple months, it can be a year or 2 year. Obviously, we will encourage everyone who has just completed the M100 to move into register for the CMCA and dedicate about 6 to 8 weeks preparing for the exam.
And just to tag on to that, once you do submit the application, you have 1 year to sit for the exam. So while you don't have a limit after you take the course, once you do submit that application, you have a year to take the exam. All right, and Adrian would like to know, what is the cost of the exam application?
It is $360 for the first time. And then if you need to retake it, it will be $200 every time you reapply.
Thank you. I see a few more questions came in. Isabel would like to know, are there any fee waivers available for taking the exam?
Not right now, unfortunately.
All right. And Charlotte would like to know, will you share the slide with the web links via email?
Absolutely. If you can follow up with us with an email, we can send you a link to the presentation. And also, this recording will be available soon on the CAMICB website on the webinars tab.
Great, thank you. Shelley would like to know, is the test online or in person?
It is an in-person exam.
All right, and then Allison asks, if you do not pass the first time, do you need a different requisite to retake the test?
So if you are using your 2 years experience as your prerequisite and you apply for the exam and fail, then yes, you will need to retake or reapply for another prerequisite. However, if you register for the first time with your M100 course as your prerequisite or any other license that we're currently accepting, then you do not need to change the prerequisite and you can simply move forward and reapply for the exam.
Thank you. Anna says that she passed her M100 in January. She asks, can I now just sign up for the CMCA and take it at any time?
Absolutely. Yes, you can register for the CMCA exam. And as Karina mentioned, after you have been approved to take the exam, you will have 1 year to schedule and take it.
But now that she passed the M100, she can basically apply at any time. There's no time
Anytime.
limit on
Mhm.
applying, but once you do apply and you're approved to take the exam, then you have to take it within 1 year.
Correct.
And then let's see, David asks, is there a separate fee required to pay Pearson VUE for the exam?
There is not. The only fee you will be paying for the first time you are taking the exam is $360. You don't have to pay anything to Pearson VUE.
All right. And then Lauren would like to know, is there a cost for the M100 class?
Yes. However, I won't be unable to provide any information as to the cost for the M100 since this is offered by CAI or the Community Associations Institute. And the fee also, it's dependent if you are a member with them or not. So it will change the final price. So I will encourage you that if you're interested in register for the M100, go to the CAI online website.
And then Muhammad has a question about the updated materials. It looks like they are asking where are the updated materials?
So all of the exam preparation materials are obviously on the exam preparation tab on the website. The study guide, it's the one who has been updated, reflecting the new blueprints of the exam. And we are working on updating the rest of our materials. However, the materials that we're currently offering are also okay for you to study and prepare for the exam.
All right. Thank you, Laura. I see a question from Fayaz, and the question is, when will the CMCA exam be in Dubai?
So it is actually offered in Dubai as of right now. You just need to register on the CAMICB website. Once you receive the approval from us, you can go to Pearson's View website and find out the closest testing center to you and simply go there and take your exam.
Okay, great. All right, I see a question from Desiree. Are there any tools or prep exam study guides?
Yes, if you go to the CAMICB website, you will see exam preparation. Just simply go there, click there, and it will give you all the different resources that we offer.
All right, I see another question, a couple more coming up. What score is passing on the exam from Virginia?
So the passing score it's 600 out of 800.
And Virgil is asking how much time do you have to take the exam?
Okay, so it is 2.5 hours, and you're going to be expecting a 120 questions exam.
Thank you. And then in terms of preparation, I see a couple questions about the M100 prerequisite course. Jeannie is asking, how do you register for that?
Yeah, so as I mentioned, the M100, it's a product offered by the CAI or the Community Associations Institute. So you might want to go to CAI's website instead. You can simply go to the search tab, M100 type, and then it will take you to the how to register for the M100.
Thank you. And then Yasmin says that she passed the M100 in 2020. So I guess that's been 5 years. Do they need to repeat it before applying for the CMCA?
No, we only require passing of the M100 once, even if it has been 5 years or more.
Great. And then Michelle has a question about webinars to help study. So do you have a webinar to help study for the exam? I saw something on the CAI website, but that is in August.
So we do actually have a one on their webinar archives on the CAMICB website. We do have a webinar called How to Plan and Prepare for the CMCA exam. And I believe this is from this year, so you might want to go and check there.
All right. And then Marnie is asking about the link that shows Pearson View locations. Where can they find out where the Pearson View locations are?
Well, Marnie, have you registered for the CMCA exam already? Because after someone has registered and has received the approval, we will send a confirmation email with all the instructions on how to schedule your exam. We also include in that confirmation email Pearson's View website and also Pearson's View phone number if you want to schedule your exam over the phone. So everything is included on that confirmation email.
All right. And then Travis is asking, is there a recommended number of years of industry experience to have prior to sitting for the CMCA exam?
No, I think if you have at least 2 years of experience, I think it will be great.
All right. And Angie would like to know, is it good to use the M100 course information and books for preparation of the CMCA exam?
Absolutely. I think the M100s is one of the best resources that we offer for the CMCA.
All right. And then Brenda mentioned that she took the M100 about 6 years ago. And do you know if it's changed since then?
I don't know. Like I mentioned, we do not offer the M100, so I am not 100% sure if content of the M100 has been recently changed. But if you're worried that it has been 6 years and you're unsure if you can register, you can absolutely. We do not require that you retake the M100. However, if you just want to refresh, then you can definitely retake it.
And then Tammy is asking, when can you apply for your next designation after you pass the CMCA test?
As soon as you receive the confirmation email from us that you have been awarded the CMCA certification, then you can apply for the AMS and the PCAM, which are offered by CAI.
All right. And then let's see. Catherine has a question about the M100. Is there a study guide that comes with the M100 or for the M100 class?
Yeah, so once you register for the M100 class, you will be provided with a book. I'm not sure if this is a digital book or a physical book, but you will receive something to prepare.
All right. Last question here is, what is the deadline for registration?
Like we mentioned, there's not deadline. The only thing is after you have registered for the CMCA exam, then you have 1 year to take the exam.
Great. Thank you, Laura.
Mhm.
Well, we are at 3:30, so we are out of time. Thank you everyone for joining us today. Laura, do you have any items to close out with?
Yeah, so obviously, I'm sure we didn't get to answer all of the questions right now, but please feel free to email us at info@camicb.org and we will follow up with you.
Great. Thank you. Have a great afternoon.